So for the A4, this is for the year 7s, 8s, and 9s, we have one example of a sketchbook you might need. Now, this sketchbook is by Strathmore Drawing. It's a very good sketchbook, it's decent paper, I use it quite a bit, but it's not quite the quality you're going to need for the mixed media materials we're going to be using. You can see that right down here it says 104 GM2. I've asked you guys to get 120 GSM, so you're going to have to look a little bit more carefully to make sure you get the right type of paper. So I'm going to show you what that is the correct type. Okay, over here we have one by Specialist Crafts. You can get these online through Carrefour or at Dryad, both online or in Alquois, for those of you who know the neighborhood. This one's 150 GSM. So this is the one that you're sort of looking for. It's just a simple A4 sketchbook. I like the fact that it's got the rings at the top because that won't get as destroyed in your bag as opposed to them having the rings on the side. So this sketchbook, okay, I've used it for a variety of materials. Okay, holds up pretty well. This is a good standard sketchbook to have. Okay, so if you're in year 7, 8, or 9, you're looking for this size, and you're looking for a GSM of at least 120. Okay, this one's 150. This one's good. This one, despite being a very good company, is only 104, and this won't be strong enough for what we're doing in class. Now, if you are a senior student, okay, you're going to want a hardcover book. Excuse the paint all over my cover. It's a canvas cover, so I tend to paint on it, or at least wipe my brush on it. Now this one is a hardcover with a solid spine, not a spiral bound. I do tend to think these are better for the older students, but remember you're going to need an A3 version of this. My A3 is in the classroom just now, but you're just looking for something like this that will work no matter the material. So here I've been using gouache, okay, pencil crayons, some ink, ink in a different way, attaching things in, scrapbook like I do. Okay, it works really well. It's a handy sketchbook to have. Okay, so if you're in year 10 or 12, you want a hardcover. You want a hardcover because 1, they tend to be bigger, and 2, this is going to need to last you 2 years. If you get a paperback version, okay, this is not strong enough to last 2 years in your backpacks. I've seen how you treat your backpacks. Please get a hardcover. Okay, so next things we're going to start talking about is the pencils. Now, I've asked you guys to get a sketching pencil set that contains a variety of sizes, 2Bs, 4Bs, 6Bs. So I'm going to take a second to show you what that means. Now, because I've been, doing art for quite a while, I keep my pencils in this roll. So I've got this whole roll filled with pencil crayons and pencils and other stuff in it. You don't need anything fancy like this, all right? Don't fool your parents into buying something like that. All you need is a small set of pencils. And you can see that these have a range of numbers on the side of them, okay? 8Bs, 6Bs, 4Bs, 2Bs, and a standard HB, which is what you use in every class, math and so forth. Now these pencils, for those of you who don't know, are used to create different types of values. An 8B is a lot darker than an HB, okay? Just to demonstrate, here is an 8B, just scribbling out some shade, nothing special, versus an HB with the same amount of pressure. You can hear the difference. In fact, this one sounds a lot scratchier, but it also takes a lot more work to get it this dark. Now your set doesn't need to have an 8B, but it does need to have at least up to a 6B. You can get any brand you want. So this one is Spectrum. I also have the Lyra brushes by Robinson. Got this one called Sanford InDesign. I think I've had this since I was in high school. Derwent, Stedletter, I even have these fancy ultra black pencils. I haven't sharpened this one yet, but really they come in any way that, any brand, it doesn't matter, but you're looking for one that comes as a set. You might even find the woodless ones. Those ones can be pretty handy. Now, most sketching pencil sets come with the following 2 items included. If yours comes with the following 2 items, that's great. Okay, this is a smudging stick, a Chilean. It's great for extending out your shadows. Okay, these are super handy. If yours comes with this, that's great, but you don't need it. It's not required. Not all sets, including this one, come with it. So if it comes with it, that's great. The other item that your sketching set may come with is a kneadable eraser. Now, if you've been in art classes before, you'll know that we tend to use these with charcoal, but they can be used very well with pencil, and they create a great effect. In fact, they're really good for lightening up your lines, as I've recently learned by using it rolled up. What's nice is there's no eraser shavings, which really helps in the whole cleaning issue. Now this one's just your standard gray one, but they even come in pretty colors. You've got blue, reds, and yellows. Right, but the kneadable eraser is the next item on your list. Okay. Now the sketching pencil set and the kneadable erasers, but it's only required for, year 9s and up. So year 9 through year 12, you need to make sure you have a sketching pencil set and a kneadable eraser. Any brands will do, but just giving you an idea of what they look like. Next up are our fine tip pens. Now, if you're in year 7, 8, or 9, the fine tip pen is something that you need only one of. All right. Make sure when you're getting them, you're getting one that has a nice small tip. Okay, I've given you a suggestion of size, which is 0.3 microns. This is 0.35. Okay, here's another brand, Unipen, very solid pen. Please make sure that you don't buy the brush pens, because I'm not asking for the brush pens for this item. That's a different item entirely. Now, if you are in years 10 through 12, I'd like you to get a set. Prepping for this year was my excuse to get a big set, so you don't need to actually get a set this big. Your set needs to have at least 4 sizes in it, okay? This is obviously much bigger than your set needs to be, but you can't get away with just one. You're going to need at least 4 sizes, so make sure when you buy a set. This brand, you can get one that has 4 in them at Carrefour. I've seen it when I went to purchase this one, so it does exist. All right, next on the list is colored pencils. Now, colored pencils, please try to be aware of the quality of the products you're buying, okay? Any of the suggested brands that I have here are good. Even Crayola is a great one to have as well, but try to avoid brands that you don't see on my list if you can. Now this set that I have here has only 12 colors in it. This is not going to be a big enough set. Of course, I've been teaching art for a while, so I've got more, so I'm okay. This is just a little sample set that I received, which I currently can't open. There we go. Okay, a little sample set of 12. But those 12 colors are not going to be enough to get the range that we need to get this year. So instead of just getting a set of 12, I want you to get a set of 24. So you're looking for about this quantity of pencils. It'll really give you the range of colors that you need. This set I think I picked up at Muji years ago. Again, you can also get the woodless type. Oh look, yeah, I've got more sketching pencils in here. So you could also get the woodless type. These ones are very nice. All right, but for your pencil crayons, you want a set of 24, just to kind of really get an understanding. You're really looking for quite a wide range of colors. Okay, so please aim to get that. The next item on the list is for every year group as well, which is the double-sided tape. Now I thought I actually had the double-sided tape at home. I don't. I left it at school, but I have a tape that's the right side. Wanting to get a roll of double-sided tape that's about this thick, okay? You can see it in comparison to my finger. This is really good for adding things into your sketchbook when you do things on different types of materials or little bits here or there. For those of you taking the study skills class, you might be using this if you're taking with Ms. Lara or myself. But this double-sided tape is super helpful for all sorts of things and keeping your sketchbook neat and not lumpy looking. So please get a roll of double-sided tape. You'll need one roll. They're quite big and they will last a long time, but please only get the thin double-sided tape. I'm not asking you to get the tape that's used for putting pictures up on your wall. I just want thin stuff to be used in the sketchbook. Now, the last item is the new fun item. New to me, because I actually had to purchase a set of these because I didn't have one of these, which is the colored brush pen sets. I got the 36 set, but I'm going to ask that you guys only get the 18 set. Okay, the 18 set exists at Carrefour. It's only 36 dirhams, but I got a bigger set because, well, I'm an art teacher and I like stationery. What can I say? Now, this is how we're going to get away with doing stuff that's like painting, but not quite painting this year, because the limitations that we're under just now. Brush pens are great for all sorts of things. Let's pick a color. Let's start with a purple. This is a nice beginner brand. You don't need to get a more expensive brand. I know some of you, especially those of you who are very into art, have probably heard of Copic markers, or maybe you want the Winsor & Newton ones or something like that, but you really only need this basic brand. This will be enough for this year. Okay, one end you can see has a brush tip. The other end has a fine tip, and by using these two, we're going to be able to do some stuff that's a little bit like painting. So it's really important that you get these. This is for every year group that I'm looking for you guys to get these, okay? So please make a point of getting this. Any brand will do, but Stedletter is a nice, good, basic brand to get started with. So I'd really encourage you to go with this brand because this is the brand Ms. Lara and I will be doing all the demonstrations with. Okay. The very last thing I want to go over are items that you've been asked to get as general stationery, which will be used in the art classroom quite a bit, so it's really important that you have them as well. Things like a ruler. You're going to have to be underlining things and drawing the grid lines and margins, so you're going to need a ruler. It doesn't have to be a very big ruler. You can get one of those foldable small rulers or whatever else, but this is my big ruler that I have, and you can definitely need that. You're going to need a pair of scissors. Again, does not need to be as big as this set, but you will need a pair of scissors. You're going to have a compass in your geometry set for math, okay? You're going to be using that in art as well, so please make sure your compass is in good working order. You're going to need glue, okay? Always helpful to have a glue stick, always comes up. And lastly, erasers. Please get more than one eraser for your school year. These have a tendency to disappear, so it's really important that you have multiple erasers. That's a basic overview of all the supplies you're going to need for this year. Slowly as the year progresses, we're going to be giving you demo videos on how to use each of these, teaching you in class, and for those of you doing distance learning, you can watch the videos and see and follow along through Zoom calls and all the rest of it. But it's a range of things that you really need to have, but it really comes down to quite a few small items, all in all, things that are basic stationery that you'll have for your usual classes, and then things that you're going to have specifically for art class. Just gonna spread out a selection of them here as a little reminder of the items that you're going to need when you come in to art this year. It looks like a huge pile, but I'm actually probably going to pack these all in just one little case for when I come into school, and I suggest you do the same. You're not going to need every item every day. You should probably have your basic stationery items every day, but for art, you're only going to need that stuff on the art lesson days, so don't stress about carrying them all the time. You're really only going to need them for those art lessons. Have a good evening, and I'll see you all in class.